So first thing, congratulations to Shay and Emily Tierney. Late last night they had their first child, a little girl. So hasn't had much sleep, but he's here at practice today, so congratulations to them.
Feel bad about getting on him yesterday then in practice?
Huh?
You feel bad about getting on him yesterday in practice then?
Getting on him?
You were getting on Shay a little bit. We're not happy.
I'm not happy most of the time.
Coach, what's the since the spring you guys
Sorry, hold on. Go ahead. Let me get Charlotte.
I'm just gonna ask, how's Ryder doing?
Yeah, he won't be out there today, but he'll work through it.
What about Leo? Where was he yesterday?
Rest day. He'll probably have another one today.
Most guys are out there for rest days. You want him off his feet completely. Most guys are still out there doing stuff.
Yeah, I'd leave it to the trainers too. I think whatever's best for the player, whatever treatment they're using or rehab or cold tub, whatever that may be. I think Ronnie and his staff do a really good job of communicating and whatever we think is best for the guy.
What's the plan or idea behind operating with 3 quarterbacks? Normally you guys have 4, but I just noticed that since the spring, it's been a strong 3 out here.
Yeah, each year's different. So, sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 3. Felt comfortable with the 3 we have.
It was told a lot of places last season, and that in hindsight, last training camp, you set up Daniel for adversity, called plays that different things, different places, but basically like called plays that might not work to see how he struggled versus setting up Tyrod for success. Are you still doing that? Was in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Are you still doing that?
Here's what we do. We sit down as a staff. Sometimes I sit down on my own and not really let anybody know what's going on, see how they react, whether that's a coach, whether that's a player. Again, all the substitutions and things we do at training camp, which I know is important to y'all, some of that, all of it is planned. Maybe it's for a personnel matchup, maybe it's to see a reaction. So everything we do, we try to map out and plan the best way we can. This year is different than last year, but certainly we have a lot of conversations, or sometimes I'll just spring something on a coordinator in a certain situation or a player to see, their reaction in a competitive situation. But every year is different.
Is it still, I guess my question is, slanted against Daniel because he's the starter, or is it more of a level?
No, I wouldn't say any of that. I'd say, you try to put players in different positions. That's a job of a coach, and that's what I try to do.
Brian, what were you getting into Dexter about a couple practices ago?
I don't know. It's a few practice. Somebody asked me that. I don't think you were here that day. I can't remember. It's practice. It's competitive. I love Dexter.
Back to Daniel for a second. From our perspective, it looks different than it did at this point last year. How much different does it look to you when you sit back there and look at him?
I don't even think of it like that way. I just didn't think of it that way last year. Don't think of it this way this year. Go out there, practice, coach the things we need to coach, put him in different situations, see his reactions. He's, like I said last year, I'll say this year, I have a lot of confidence in him. He's done a good job. He works hard, and he learns from his mistakes like you want all your players to do.
What have you seen from him this year, though, like in regards to what impresses you about the way he's played?
Yeah, well, we're in day 8 at training camp. I think he's operated our offense. Certain plays I know he'd like to have back. We all would like to have back. He's a consummate pro. He tries to work every day, tries to improve, and that's what we're going to need from him.
Brian, when a guy gets beat in a one-on-one or whatever, what do you look for? Do you look for fire? Do you look for calmness? What kind of characteristics tell you that guy is ready to bounce back?
Well, one-on-one's really about fundamentals and techniques. It's competitive all the time because it's one-on-one, but it's not real football. You're trying to improve techniques and fundamentals. One-on-ones for an offensive lineman are hard. One-on-ones for defensive backs against receivers are hard. But you're trying to just improve techniques, fundamentals, go back, you watch them, you coach. But that's really what one-on-ones are for, is the individual technique part of it. Who gets beat, who doesn't get beat, that's going to happen all the time. Particularly in certain drills, it's a little bit more skewed toward one side of the ball. but you need to do them to improve your techniques.
What about though in group sessions? You know, team sessions, 7-on-7. What do you look for?
When somebody gets beat,
Yeah.
just move on to the next play. It's going to happen. It's football. You're going to have a bad call as a coach, or a bad decision, a bad play as a player. It's about the next play. So our next play mentality is important.
What have you seen from Evan's technique in those one-on-one? Granted, it's only been one day.
Yeah, no, I think Evan's done a good job. Like I said before a couple days ago, he's improved. He's got the right mindset. We'll just keep grinding along with him.
What do you think of Hyatt yesterday and more broadly in recent days in terms of his progress?
Yeah, I mean, I'd group him with all the rookies, some good, some bad, some things to learn from. But he's really in the same category as all the rookies that we have.
What do you think when you hear him say he wants to be Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, no, I know he said that yesterday. That's that's something that's obviously important to him, but I'm not really focused on any of those type of things. It's just really getting better each day and learning the playbook. He's got a long way to go, just like all the rookies do.
Do you think that puts pressure on him?
Now, you'd have to ask him.
I ask your opinion.
Yeah, I already told you what I thought. I'm focused on today getting better.
Kind of piggybacking on Patty's question, how have you seen Tay Banks, handle the ups and downs so far?
Yeah, really just like all the other guys. Everybody's had a bad play or multiple bad plays, and people have had good plays. So training camp is about learning from your plays, learning from your mistakes, correcting your fundamentals, improving on your strengths, and then really honing in on some of your weaknesses to try to make them your strengths.
What ways do you think McFadden has improved from last year?
Yeah, well, he's been dependable. He's been out there. He's had a lot of reps. He's done a nice job in there. He's one more year in the system, and he's competitive. He's a competitive guy.
Was Paris practice today? Paris Campbell?
Yeah, he'll be out there.
What about Jack Anderson?
What was yesterday?
Hottie will be out there. He'll be doing something. Probably not the whole practice. Jack, he'll be out there. Not today, but he'll be out there. It's not anything long term. That's what you were asking, Jordan.
I was asking. Or
Jordan,
was he
yeah, Paris
some
was.
kind of-
Yeah, no, we just each player. I think our staff does a great job of individually analyzing each player, and then we got to do a good job of making sure that we take care of them when we got to take care of them to make sure they can be ready for the long haul.
Any other injuries coming out of yesterday?
Aziz will get a rest day today. Other than that, no, Pat.
Dave, did you work out a few guys yesterday?
We did. We worked out a few guys today, this morning too. That's like I've said before. Nothing right now.
Nothing
Nope.
right now?
Yep.
Dave, with one of your more intriguing free agent signings was Amani, and I'm going to get this right, Oruwariya.
Yeah.
What have you seen from him so far, or what do you make of a guy who was a cornerback one for a team, had 5 interceptions, then got benched? I would assume a guy comes into a new team pretty motivated.
Yeah, no, he's been a consummate pro. He's we've thrown him right there in with the group. He's done a good job with our techniques. I think Jerome's done a good job with him. He's battling out here, competing. Competitive spot like a lot of positions we have.
What stood out about what has stood out about Schmitz, and have you noticed the kind of sense of nastiness or toughness that his college coach raves about?
I think that's more when we get into preseason games. It's really about technique, doing the things the right way. He's a pro as a young player. He meets a lot of extra time with Daniel. I think he's improved each day, but in the category with all the rookies, long way to go.
Brian, what at the guard position, you keep tinkering with those combinations. What do you want to see from your right and left guard as you mix and match?
No, I don't know, it was a few days ago. Days are running together, but it's whoever plays the best. That's why we're putting them out there. We're giving them different matchup, different looks. A guard interior offensive line job is to keep the pocket firm and get movement at the line of scrimmage. So they'll get a lot of opportunity to do that. And then whoever are the best 2 or 3 or however many it is, that's what we'll go with.
So you consider both spots open, right guard?
I consider almost every spot open on our team. No, there's certain
left tackle.
Not left tackle. Yeah. So, but again, we're trying to make it. That's what training camp's for, as competitive as we can. And again, some of that is just let's see this player against this player. So you can't move everybody around. So maybe you move one person one day, and you don't want to see them all the time against one particular player. So you either move a guy on defense or you move a guy on offense, and then you put another guy in there to see what, how he matches up against a guy that's going. Some of that's one-on-ones, but a lot of time we try to do it in team too, so we can get a good evaluation, not just against one player. So when we're out there in one-on-ones, I ask the coaches to make sure they're trying to mix and match guys, so we can see how they perform against each other.
Yeah.